and see if we could available on Thrive Market. Convenient.
Alright guys, so welcome on the video right here.
So the first and easiest option for gluten-free pasta is store-bought. These can vary wildly in quality, flavor, and texture. So we taste tested a few brands, and the winner by a wide margin was this brand, Pasta Joy, whose flavor and texture were almost indistinguishable from its glutinous counterparts. And it's available on Thrive Market. Convenient, but sometimes life calls for fresh pasta. And before we get too nitty-gritty with a totally from scratch recipe, I wanted to see if we just grab some of this 1-to-1 gluten-free all-purpose flour and see if we could use it the way we would regular flour to make pasta. So we're going to start by measuring out 12 ounces of gluten-free flour, adding a couple big old pinches of kosher salt, and tiny whisking to combine, before adding 8 ounces worth of eggs. This is the normal flour to egg ratio that I use for pasta, but I quickly discovered the first way that gluten-free flour does not translate, because instead of forming a soft, supple dough, this mixture quickly turned into a paste. So I added a little bit more flour until it got the right consistency, and then turned things over to a stand mixer where I wanted to knead the dough. Now this might seem counterintuitive given that this is gluten-free flour and therefore has no gluten to develop, but my theory, or rather hope, was that we would develop the starch in the dough, making it sturdy and giving the pasta the characteristic chew that we're looking for. So once we've allowed the dough to be kneaded for about 5 minutes, I'm just going to give it a few kneads by hand to get a feel for it, so to speak. Then we're going to wrap it in plastic wrap and fridge it for 30 minutes. After that, we're ready to get rolling. I'm going to subdivide the dough into a few pieces, then roll it out a little bit by hand to test its strength, and right off the bat, not off to a good start. Once again, in an effort to develop the starch, I'm going to roll it out and laminate it, that is, roll it out and fold it on itself many times before attempting to pass it through the pasta roller, which, as you can see, resulted in a crumbly disaster. So let's take another crack at this time using Bob's Red Mill 1-to-1 gluten-free flour. This stuff has a higher starch content, so I'm hoping that it will do the trick. And after using the exact same recipe and method, it did. The flour held its shape, albeit delicately, through the rollers and through the cutters. It was, however, as you can see, very fragile and rather sticky, an early indicator that it's going to have a gummy texture. After cooking briefly for 2 to 3 minutes or until floating, this theory was sadly proven correct. Not only was the pasta kind of sticky and gummy, it was also very fragile. So while 1-to-1 gluten-free flour might be okay for baking, it doesn't really work for pasta applications. I'm also not sure about the spaghetti form factor. It kind of turns into a knotty ball of ramen. So let us start work on our own custom gluten-free pasta flour blend. 15 ounces of brown rice flour, 12 ounces of white rice flour, 6 ounces of potato starch, 3 ounces of tapioca starch, and about 1 tablespoon of xanthan gum. Whisk until completely combined, keep it in an airtight container, and bust it out whenever you want to make some of the fresh stuff. When that day comes, the ratio for this flour is 14 ounces of our gluten-free flour blend, a big old pinch of kosher salt tiny whisked in there, and 8 ounces of eggs. This should yield a nice, soft, workable dough that we're going to knead in our stand mixer using the paddle attachment for about 5 minutes. This should, in theory, develop the starch and give our pasta a more toothsome, al dente texture. No need to wrap, fridge, or rest. Just subdivide into 4 workable pieces and start rolling out and cutting by virtue of your pasta roller and cutter. And like I said, spaghetti didn't work so hot, so we're going to use a fettuccine cutter. The outside of the dough is going to have some rough edges, but these should just fall away as you cut. Once it's out of the machine, we're going to heavily dust with flour and twist into a nest. Rinse and repeat with the remaining pasta, and then this stuff is ready to put to use in your favorite fresh pasta application. I've been testing everybody out with just butter and salt, but why don't we put this straight to use in an actual recipe? A classic pasta aglio olio. I'm going to dump about 3 tablespoons worth of high quality olive oil into a large saute pan, thinly shave 2 or 3 large cloves of garlic into the cold oil, and then place over medium-low heat, allowing the garlic to gently bubble and cook and turn ever so slightly brown. More of a blonde
so
brown,
instead
really.
of boiling straight,
water,
so you
let it
boil
cook for 2
first,
to 3 minutes until it floats. Keep it moving
and
initially so
after
it doesn't
boiling
stick
you
together.
get
Take
it
the garlic
into
off the
the
heat as necessary so it
into
doesn't
the
burn.
oil.
And when the pasta's done, go ahead and dump it straight into the oil along with the garlic and between a quarter and a third of a cup of pasta cooking water. We're also going to add the squeezed juice of 1 lemon. Allow the pasta to cook for about 1 more minute in this mixture before adding a big old handful of freshly chopped parsley. Toss everybody together until the sauce is thick and emulsified. And
so this one is actually weighs more bigger than normal pasta.
Red pepper flakes if you're feeling spicy. Give her one last toss together, and there you have it. Gluten-free pasta aglio olio.
Wow.
You kind of have to twist it up with the carving fork from the movie Chef. Everything else would be sacrilegious, and the only thing left to do is hold it up to the camera.
Get that in the comment section if you have actually tried something like this before. Because honestly, I don't think this is my first time of seeing this. Like seriously. Like seriously, this is my first time. Alright, so this video was requested by someone. So if you also want to request a video, just get down in the comment section below. Tell me where you're watching from and tell me your kind of food you want me to bring you the right videos about. So without wasting much of your time, I'm going to get back to you in 24 hours after you drop that comment. Alright, so just get in the comment section, drop the comments. Like seriously, I've never seen this kind of meal before.
From its glutinous counterpart. It's toothsome, it's not sticky, it's light and bouncy, it has a nice neutral flavor, and it's
Wow,
perfect
don't
for
take
all
it.
your
Ah, it's taking
GFFs
it
or
away.
gluten-free friends. Thanks again to Thrive Market.
Alright guys,
for sponsoring
so
this
get you another videos, and stay blessed. Peace.